Hey folks, Country Prepper here. So this is a continuation or an addendum to my last video where I was talking about the state of the economy, the possibility of a recession, and the possibility that that could turn into a full-blown economic collapse and possibly bring on shit hits the fan. Now, I was not trying to make any predictions in that video or anything like that. I wasn't telling anybody this is going to happen. I'm just saying it's a possibility and to be aware of what's going on. The stock market's been dropping, 500 points at a time. I think it's down 500 today, and it's not even the end of the day. So we had a little bit of a bounce, and a lot of people, people that actually do that stuff were saying it's probably just a dead cat bounce, which means that it's just kind of a little jump up before it keeps, continues to go back down. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But sometimes we have to, as preppers, be able to adapt, to be able to make changes to our prepping strategy for the most imminent threat. And right now, I believe that a coming recession or the possibility of an economic collapse is the most imminent threat. So I wanted to talk about some of the things that I'm doing to be more prepared for the economy side of things. And so, as usual, I'm doing all the regular stuff, storing water, storing food. I have changed some of the containers that I buy. I stopped buying water in... Our water here in town tastes like absolute crap, so we buy bottled water in, big jugs. And if you buy the milk jug style jugs of water, you can't really reuse those. They don't last very long. It's not a very good quality plastic. And so I've changed over to using some jugs. I should have brought one out here to show you guys, but it's Ice Mountain. And it's a 3-liter jug instead of a gallon, but they're stackable, and I can reuse them. They're a good heavy plastic. And so I've also bought a few other water containers to test out, Aquatainer, and then there was an Ozark Trail one I saw at Walmart. I thought I'd try that out. Just kind of doing a few things to get as much water storage as possible. So with the Ice Mountain jugs, what's nice about those is we can drink the good spring water that's in those and then refill them and put them in storage. So that way they get kind of a dual use. Right now, instead of filtering our water, we're saving our ceramic filters and our Aqua Rain gravity filter for emergency purposes. Instead of, clogging up those filters, they're really expensive. It's like, I don't know, they're somewhere around like $50 a piece. So, and ours takes 4 of them. So, kind of want to save those for an emergency when we really need it. So we just buy our water. The Ice Mountain jugs are like, I think $1.26, something like that. They're under $1.30. So, but being able to get 2 uses out of them, makes it worth the extra, few cents that it costs more than just like a gallon jug. I've been really ramping up on food storage. I think I spent, let's see, I made an Amazon order the other day. I think it was like $117. We got, I've been getting my checks from work comp from my accident, and so I'm not having to spend money on gas and stuff like that, so I've been putting that money towards food storage. And so a lot of Augustin Farms, a few Mountain House. I've been grabbing Mountain House pouches from Walmart, and just every time we go get whatever supplies we need, I'll just grab a couple extra of those, and then I keep them in a tote. That way, just in case of rodents or whatever, nothing gets into them. Number 10 cans, you don't have to worry about that. So that's another thing. And then my checks come as paper checks from work comp, and, well, my paychecks when I get back to work come in a paper check as well. Until we get direct deposit set up and all that kind of stuff. But I've been cashing my checks instead of leaving them in the bank, just in case. Back when, during the Great Depression, if you had money in the bank, it disappeared. So I'm keeping just as little money in the bank as possible. What I usually do is I'll cash my check. I'll leave in there what I need to pay bills that day and keep the rest in cash. If it comes to the end of the week before I get my next check, if I need to pay another bill, I'll go put that amount in the bank and go home and pay the bill. And so I pay as much stuff online, that way it comes out of my checking account as quick as possible, so that money's not sitting there. I don't trust the banks. It's just not worth the risk to lose whatever cash you might have. Plus, you know, if something happens and there's just a huge drop and, you know, things get really bad really quick, then I have cash if I need to, you know, go out and buy some gas or whatever the case. If there was, say, like an attack on our grid or whatever, you know, case may be, I have cash in hand to buy gas or whatever. You wouldn't be able to pump gas if the grid was down, but, you know, anyway, you'd be able to do it by alternative means. I have also been stocking up on more fuel. I got an extra propane tank, so now I have 3 propane tanks, the, what are they, 20 gallon or 20 pound or whatever, the bigger, like grill tanks. So I have 3 of those around, and I have a ton of the little, you know, 1 pound, let's see, I think I have some right up here. These little cylinders, propane cylinders, I have a ton of those. These 2 are up here for putting on my torch that I use to start my wood stove. Makes things just so much easier, so much faster to use a torch to light your wood stove. Other than that, I stopped buying any kind of frivolous things, nothing that I don't need. About a month or 2 ago, I bought an expensive hammock. I kind of wish I'd have returned it to just buy food storage, because I could get a lot of food storage for what I paid for that hammock, but too late now, and I really like it anyway, so I'm going to keep it. But I stopped buying anything frivolous, anything that I don't need, and I'm just putting that money towards food and water containers, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then finally, as you guys know, last year I was heavy into cryptocurrencies. I had a bunch of cloud mining contracts, all with several different places. And then I also had a bunch of computer hardware that mined cryptocurrencies. So I've just been kind of accumulating that. It's just one of those things where if I can't use, you know, like my debit card, which I'm basically not using anymore hardly at all anyway, except for paying bills, or if you can't, you know, write a check somewhere, if you can't use cash, you know, it's just one more option. I'm just accumulating the stuff. It's not costing me any money. I could cash it out, but the market's way down, so hopefully some of the money coming out of the stock market goes into the cryptocurrency market and I make a killing like I did last year. That's the hope anyway, but at least right now it's not costing me anything. As usual, I want to get you guys' input. What are some of the things that you're doing, you know, just in case the economy collapses? What kind of steps are you taking different or above and beyond what you had been doing before? And, you know, what do you think? I got a lot of really great comments, a few really terrible ones in my last video, but for the most part it was really good. Great discussion. I do want to give a shout out to my friend Daryl over at 39 Camper and John over at Live for Wild. They disagreed with what I had to say, but they did it in a respectful and, you know, courteous way. They weren't being combative about it. They were being, you know, kind. They just disagreed. And I really appreciate that, guys. It's perfectly fine. I don't mind at all if somebody disagrees with me, but do it in a respectful way. And those guys are just great. You know, I like both of their channels. They're great guys, good friends. And so shout out to those guys. Their links will be, link to their channels will be in the description box below. And so that's it for today, guys. I have a channel update coming after this one, and then I'll probably take the rest of the year off, finish up these last 5 or 6 sheaves that I have to do, and just kind of recharge, do my physical therapy, stuff like that, get as healthy as I possibly can for the start of the new year when I'll finally be getting back to work. So, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.